What's up, Moto fans? Just working on this RMZ 250 today. Like I said in the last video, when we got the 450 all put together and done, just waiting on some parts. The swing arm and linkage bearings showed up, so we've been doing those, and little odds and ends. The new cylinder and valves and all that is still on its way. The head I was able to save. Where the piston hit it, it didn't get into where the valves seat, so I was easily able to polish that up, and when I get the new valves I can lap them and all that stuff, and it should be alright, I hope. But anyways, I went I found a bike that I've been kind of looking for a while. I've wanted a 252 stroke to race hare scrambles, off-road, whatever. And I found one, and it's an 02 RM 250. So she's an oldie, but I went and looked at it. The guy came down a lot on the price after I pointed out a few things. The forks were blown out, the rear shock was blown out, other odds and ends cosmetically and whatnot on the chassis itself. But it did come with a couple sweet parts, like it's got a full FMF exhaust already on it. There's not a dent in the pipe, or the header pipe. It's got, I'll show you here in a little bit, somebody put a billet clutch basket in it. It's got a brand new clutch in it. Somebody at one point had put a hot rods connecting rod in it. The piston and cylinder all look good. Should be able to just clean them up. The power valve needs, or exhaust power valve, whatever it is, that needs a good cleaning. I was excited. I was very excited. I still am, but just a little setback. But oh, it's also got a restyle plastics kit on it. But anyways, I got it home. I bought it from a guy that kind of lived in a town, so I couldn't really ride it. It fired right up, ran good, sounded good. So we made a deal. Well, I got it home and tried riding it. The transmission was not good. First gear and all the other gears work great. Second gear does not. So I said, well, great. There goes racing the local hare scramble this weekend, and it's old enough I could have taken it to Ohio for the vintage days. But there goes those plans. This transmission's no good. I got to tear it apart, whatever. The other night I tore the motor out of it, split the crank, case, everything, and it was better than I thought, but still not good. And I'm gonna make a few key points during this video, but just let's go over to the bench and see what we got. Alright, so excuse the mess here. Engine work, you know. So here's the billet basket somebody put into it. Nice Pro X basket, brand new clutch. The piston's in good shape, cylinder's in good shape. You know, little odds and ends that are always a plus. You know, an aftermarket shift lever, the whole nine. When I inspected all of the gears on the transmission shafts, they all look good. I was expecting, you know, teeth to be missing the way it was acting. It was just kind of like yeah 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 in second gear. So I was happy to find that there was no teeth missing. The gears are all good. However, right here where the output shaft goes out, light shining on it, you can see here that real shiny circle. It's not supposed to be like that. The output shaft has a washer that's supposed to be on the end of the shaft that rides against this bearing, and it is MIA. So what happened is it wore into this case, and I don't think it destroyed it. I think, you know, with the washer in there, I think it'll be okay. But without the washer in there, it obviously slid over and was wearing against the case, and eventually made it so that it was coming apart enough to where in second gear it was in and out, in and out, in and out, which is exactly what I experienced. So anyways, I got to get the washer. I got a lot of parts to clean, and we'll just kind of go with it. Another thing that I found is in this water pump cover, this bolt right here is just your drain bolt. It doesn't have to be long. I mean, you could get away with a 1/2 inch long bolt in there. Somebody had put a extremely long bolt in there. I guess it's not really going to focus all that well. And as you can see, it ripped off all the impeller fins and destroyed it because the bolt was too long. So, blessing in disguise, I guess. If I hadn't had an issue with the transmission, I probably would have loaded it up and taken it racing for 2 hours if I made it that far, and might have got hot and blown the whole motor up. So at least right now, the way I'm trying to look at it is, it's a part. I know what I got. I know what I've got a running engine I can work with. So, you know, the whole thing isn't just catastrophic failure. But it still sucks. But thankfully, you know, the guy came way down on the price for me, so it's kind of justifiable. But I'm not convinced the guy didn't know about it. I'm not convinced the guy was totally truthful about it, but there again, you never know. I would say out of 100% of the nuts and bolts on this bike holding the thing together, engine and chassis, maybe 40% of them were the correct hardware. Which, whatever. They sell the kits every day, folks. I really wish people would stop doing that. But anyways, I get it. Like here and there, you're in a pinch, you might be at the track, put something together to make it work, whatever. But with all that being said, I'm almost convinced that whenever you buy a bike that's maybe 10 years old or older, just tear it apart, see what you got, especially if it runs and rides good. Like, just go the extra mile. Don't just change the oil in it. Just, if you got the knowledge and the tools and the time, just tear it apart, see what you got. Because like I said, that water pump might have, you know, grenaded the whole motor, and then I'd have nothing to work with. So as frustrating as it is, I'm, I guess, glad that we're here now. But anyways, that's that. This is a buddy of mine's bike. It needed some parts. It's here to be fixed. I got I tore the whole bike apart. The brake rotor, or the brake calipers, and motor mount bolts, and just all the hardware on this bike was just kind of foobarred. So the frame is completely stripped. I'm gonna go through everything. I got to rebuild the suspension. You know, probably. Well, I know I'm gonna need all new linkage and swing arm bearings and all that jazz. So when I really get going on this project, I'm really gonna start documenting every step of this project as a bike build, and hopefully make some cool videos for you guys. But I stripped it all apart like the day after I brought it home. I was so frustrated. The last thing I was gonna do is turn the camera on and watch everybody, or let everybody watch me be an idiot. But anyways, that's that. Garage is full once again. We did have it all organized and redone here, but you know, as time goes on, it gets kind of cluttered. But anyways, stay tuned, and we'll be ordering some parts and breaking into that project pretty soon. But in the meantime, we're gonna get going on this RMZ 250, do what we can, wait for our parts to show up, and maybe that'll be my woods bike for now. The ditch banger race over at Greek Peak in New York is one of one of my highlights every year I like to hit. So that is the bike that I raced it last year on, and felt pretty good. So that might have to be my horse this year also. So I'm not really too pumped on taking the 450 for 2 hours through the woods, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, and I've been lacking on the videos. Hopefully that's going to change here soon. My computer was giving me fits on the upload program, the whole nine, whatever. Life's been busy, so get back to it. Thanks, guys.